Ohayou gozaimasu minasan.
Ohio.
Let's get this shit started. Alright.
With me here, I suppose our victory is all.
Sorry, I've already forgotten. What was the story of this one? We're taking out Yuan Shao, that's right.
Yeah.
Remember, so he's one of the strong
This is the
dudes.
battle where Liu Bei comes back. Oh, not Liu Bei. Guan Yu gets back to the original group.
Yeah. Maybe. He fights with us. He leaves a different time.
I know you're all probably aware, but we're seriously outnumbered here. In other words, a frontal assault simply isn't an option.
Yes, it is.
Spare us what we already know. Tell us your plan.
Please, allow me. At the moment, the two crossings at Bai Ma and Yanjin are under the control of Yuan Shao's forces. We start by raiding these locations. If we succeed in taking them, then we will have our bridgehead.
Okay. I'm sure the enemy aren't going to just let us take them now.
Quite right. Which is where our diversion comes in. Someone to catch their attention by coming at them head on.
Guan Yu.
God of War.
Oh, in that case, perhaps I may be so bold as to suggest myself for the role.
Well met, Master Yuejin. Thank you for volunteering. It's nothing. I just thought I could be useful as a sacrificial pawn. Oh no, there will be no sacrificing. If that line breaks, the enemy will have the straight shot at Master Cao Cao. What? The main forces will be circling around to Ba Ma and Yanjin, so do not expect any backup. Our master's fate rests in your hands, so we are counting on you. Oh no, looks like I volunteered for the most important role. You screwed yourself over, Guan Yu. Oh, Guan Yu. I am Guan Yu. I was made Master Cao Cao's guest officer for a reason. Master Cao Cao treated me with extreme kindness in the past. I will use my blade to repay that debt. This is the fight where Guan Yu, as he's saying, he's repaying that debt. And then after this one is where he's like, okay, I've repaid you. I am now leaving. But Cao Cao's like, fuck that. Like, you're too strong. I can't just let you leave. So Guan Yu has to like fight his way out as like this epic like escape, because Guan Yu's a badass fucker, right? So that's what's going down. So Guan Yu, God, I want you inside of me. Look at how big this man is compared to everyone. Oh, God, I love him.
I still think he's the biggest guy up to date, or at least the tallest.
He's a big man. Let's go. We don't want to miss this opportunity to strike. Understood.
The enemy has
There we go.
superior numbers, so
Superior numbers. I'll go right, you go up. Okay, sound good.
This map
Fighting
looks
them head on.
suspiciously like the one that Guan Yu leaves in.
I've seen us fight this map from the other side. Battle of Guandu. But
it will be difficult. We need to draw them out by raiding Bai Ma and Yanjin. Master Yuejin will draw the enemy out. Master Guan Yu and Master Li Dian, please handle Bai Ma and Yanjin.
Bai Ma and Yanjin. Alright.
Perfect timing. I was looking for an opportunity to test my new tactics.
I had a feeling you would come, and you actually did. You saved me.
Perfect timing. I was looking for an opportunity to test my new tactics.
So out of respect for Guan Yu, I have chosen to use his weapon, the Crescent Blade. And it is amazing, so fuck yeah.
I am Yuejin. Is there nobody within Yuan Shao's forces who is willing to test their strength against me?
Those arrogant dogs! Somebody defeat those wretches and prove the might of our forces!
Oh, Yuan Shao. You
UN
stupid
Shao's
bastard.
men have taken the bait. Now comes the key part.
Alright, let's see what this guy's moves is like. Now, I made an epiphany about Pretty Boy here.
I am hoping to see why for myself.
About him?
He is a biotic,
Sworn brother, Liu Bei.
and that is a singularity from it.
Repaying my debt.
He says that, but I haven't played Mass Effect, so I don't know.
You guys, you should know what I'm talking about. Anyone that's played it, you should know
So
that this
Amazing. You sure know how to fight.
is fucking biotic.
So what does that mean? Explain it to me.
Did not think I would be
Um,
receiving any reinforcements.
In Mass Effect, certain people are imbued with element 0 or something like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I'm just said it completely wrong or some shit like that, or I got the wrong idea in my head, but basically, the shit that makes everything Mass Effect able to do the shit they can, they have this special crap
Okay.
to make everything work,
Yeah.
and people can actually harness it. It has to happen when they're like in the womb, crap like that, and then they can start messing with gravity itself.
So like actual people, like they kind of become like magical in a way where they can control gravity through their bodies.
It's closest thing to magic they got,
Okay.
but like they can do shit like that where it's gravity related,
Uh-huh.
and they can make certain barriers to crap like that. So anything physical object moving,
Okay. That's cool.
yeah. So, and it's all themed blue because that's what the material is the color of.
Will never take Bai Ma as long as I'm standing.
Alright. So that's pretty much just kind of the same kind of stuff. So we have an airbender.
And now I got a
Birdman.
biotic.
We got a biotic. I guess we'll never know what we'll find next.
Curses.
God.
On my honor as a noble, I shall take back Bai Ma and Yan Jin.
Oh, he's a stupid bastard. Yuan Shao. Suck my dick. So yeah, like you really like that. Let's talk about that a little bit. You really like science fiction stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm curious in a way that I'm very science fiction / fantasy.
Not even fit to share.
Also, I sometimes even like a combination of both, but that's not always the case. But fan fictions in sci-fi and crap are always just been really cool.
Yeah.
The technology we could supposedly have in the future, some that we probably know we can't have, but we wish we had.
Yeah.
Like the lightsaber.
Or being biotic.
Yeah.
I assume that's probably not going to be an
Or
evolutionary
being like the
chain.
Space Marines and just be giant hulking masses of destruction.
Yeah.
I really hate the Warhammer 40k universe history and what a lot of it stands for, but I find a lot of it interesting too. I have a love-hate relationship now with it.
Yeah, I don't like Warhammer because I don't like the mixture. Well, I like the Warhammer Fantasy. I don't like the Warhammer 40k because I don't like the mixture of fantasy. Like, for me, I'm in this really weird middle. Like, you really like science fiction, like,
Yeah.
do you like Star Wars and like Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica and all that
Oh
stuff?
god, yes, I love those shows. Just love them.
See, now for me, I don't really care for any of those. Like, they're okay, but I'm just not that interested. But it's weird because as far as like space goes, I'm really interested in space, like real life space, and like, you know, us going to Mars and landing there, you know, and doing their cool NASA shit. Like, I love that kind of stuff, and I love different planets, and I love looking up at the stars. But for some reason in video games, I just don't care for sci-fi. The only sci-fi I've ever liked was Halo, which I don't really care for very much anymore, and StarCraft. Those are like the two science fiction things that I like. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, my meat and butter. Oh wait, do we meet Liu Bei here?
Yeah, this is the mission.
This is the mission. I remember now. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was pretty damn sure this was what was happening.
Turning to the side of my sworn brother.
So this isn't how it happened in any of the other ones. This was, we were with, we were fighting with Yuan Shao, remember? And then Yuan Shao's like, what? Guan Yu's here. And then like, he's like, you betraying me? Right, remember that?
Yeah.
And then everything was just red when we joined in with him. I remember now. Yeah, you're totally right. I kind of knew what you were saying, but I didn't know what exactly it was. You know what I mean? So I wasn't sure if you were right or not. Because I know how all the other games have been, and the other games have definitely been Guan Yu's his own mission to escape. But maybe that's not really historically as correct as this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, so for me, it's always been fantasy. I love fantasy. I love elves and orcs and magic and swords and dragons.
I also love that too.
I love it. Oh my god, that is everything that has been my life since the beginning. You know, even starting with just Zelda on the NES, the first ever Zelda game, right? Like, it's just, I don't know what to say. Fantasy is beautiful. So I don't know why, I'm just not interested in games. Can you think of a reason? Like, why I might, like, why is it that I love space so much in, like, real life, and I find exploring different planets so fascinating, but at the same time, I don't care for space games very much?
I think it's the fact that you're mystified by it, but it's not a game where you want to do it. It's something you want to do in real life.
Okay.
Like some things, like really being in the past, like with orcs and shit, and having it's kind of like my hatred for Warhammer 40k. I have this weird love-hate relationship. Like the Tech Priest, they represent something I absolutely hate, but at the same time, I find their characters really cool. It's just, in real life, you really think it's utter bullshit, and you would hate to live under such regime or crap like that, but just reverse it.
Yeah.
Like that's really the tipping hat.
What is this?
It's really hard to explain. We're really fickle creatures, and we don't know what the hell we're doing most of the time.
You seem quite confident of yourself.
Yeah, I like that kind of assessment though of, like, I'd rather see, like, the real thing than, like, imagine the possible future. You know what I mean? Like, that's what sci-fi has always been to me. It's kind of like things that could be possible in the future. Like, with fantasy, it's like, okay, well, we're probably never going to be magical wizards, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that, like, I wish I could be that, but I know I'm not going to be, and I think that's why it's fascinating.
Yes.
But as far as, like, space stuff, it's like, I'm not going to be alive
by the time
that space
I'm more
stuff,
mystified what we are going to get to in my lifetime than what's going to happen.
Exactly. I'm more interested in, you know, what's going to happen within, you know, the couple of the next, you know, 20, 30 years. What's going to happen? What are we going to see? Like,
what are we really going to realistically achieve in our time?
It's true. I'm really interested to, like, see other planets and things. Like, that just is so fucking fascinating to me. And it's just the video games, man. I just don't care. So that's interesting. I like that. But for those of you watching, go ahead and comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on science fiction and fantasy. Obviously, those aren't like the only two things.
Yeah, there's, you know, there's very different.
There's lots of different things, but those are the two big ones.
One other thing I really like
hold on.
is experiencing from the evil guy's point of view.
Yeah, hold on. We'll finish that thought in a minute.
Curse you, Cao Cao. Come to kill me, have you? I, who have been your friend since we were children. I, with the noble name of the Han. You should be beneath me.
Say nothing more. I'll think you less of a man. A noble name and a powerful army. All that strength, and yet you strove to bring back a land that is now long past.
What are you talking about?
The very fact you do not understand is the reason you have lost. This is our final farewell.
Oh shit.
You shall be another step upon my path to total rule.
That was almost the perfect victory. You've impressed me again, young master.
You better not be getting ideas killing
Young
me off
master.
again.
It's okay. Sorry. I think I've been thinking a little too hard.
Thinking.
You're not Patrick Star.
Come. The power balance is about to shift dramatically. Let our strategies lift our lord to the summit.
Alright, awesome. Let's see where we're headed to now. Cao Cao defeated Yuan Shao's massive army at Guandu and seized control of the Central Plains. This served to announce the name of Cao Cao to the entire land. Look at him, he's got a lot of land up there. Meanwhile, the fact that Yuan Shao had not named a clear successor served to throw the Yuan family into utter turmoil. Yuan Shao's son, Yuan Tan, and Yuan Zi, and Yuan Sheng were thrown into disarray and forced to flee. Jesus Christ. Eventually, they arrived at Mount Baolang to the north, which was populated by a foreign tribe. It had been 7 years since the Battle of Guandu. Oh shit.
The time skip.
With the changing times, there were a number of people within Cao Cao's camp that advocated they turn their attention somewhere. However, Guanji stood in opposition to them all. He felt they should deal with the Yuan family before they became an even bigger threat. Cao Cao respected his opinion and ordered Guaoji to set after them in pursuit. There we go. Guaoji eagerly increased the pace of his march to an almost deadly level. The very sight of him served to inspire the troops. The might and wisdom of Cao Cao, Zheng Liao, and Jiao Zhu were on display as they looked. Alright, so there we go. So finish your thought. You were saying that you enjoy seeing things from the evil point of view, or the
Here's this.
bad guys.
I do like stories like that. Guys that are really ambitious. They set their plan up from the start. You see them manipulating the system to their will. I really like that in books. Keep that in mind, because you can really ply up what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Without ruining the book. So it just builds, and then you just got this annoying little hero that's trying to stop you, and then you're trying to shift the world so it just naturally expunges him.
Yeah.
But and even if you do end up failing, it's really nice to see the madman / genius point of view of these bad guys too. So I also love stories like that.
Yeah.
Like
Something...
yeah, what like reading a normal hero is gonna stop the evil man story. I also just like watching the evil man's like thought process and everything.
So you could, something similar to like Dexter.
Yes,
where
Dexter.
He's the serial killer.
I really need to keep watching that. Like Dexter is a very interesting concept.
All right. Well, there we go. We got your thoughts. We're gonna end off this episode, you guys, and we will see you next time.
Ciao, mata.